Okay, we're going to start patterning today, which I'm pretty excited about. So we're going to start with bears in a bag. This is our special balance scale, okay? It's going to only stay in balance if the quantity of bears is the same on each side. So the number of bears on the left side has to be the same as the number of bears on the right side. All right, so if we look at the balance scale, and we look at the left side, we notice how many bears there are on that side. How many bears do I need to balance this scale? You're absolutely right. I need 4 bears to balance the scale. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Not as neatly stacked as the left side, but the bears are, in terms of the numbers, are the same. So 4 bears on the left, 4 bears on the right. Okay. All right. So if I take a look at here, and I've got this paper bag on the right, if I put 4 bears into the paper bag, how many bears do you need on the other side to balance it? So again, I've put 4 bears in the bag. How many bears do you need to balance it? Okay, so in here we've got 4 bears in the bag. All right, so how many bears do I need on the other side? You're right, I need 4 bears. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, what about the bag? It's got a little bit of weight, and how do we balance that out? Don't worry about the bag, okay? We're not talking about the bag. We're just talking about the quantity of bears. So what if I added, so I've got 4 bears in the bag right now and 4 bears on the other side. What if I added 1 more bear to the bag? How many bears do I now have in the bag? You're right, I've got 5 bears in the bag. So how many bears will I need on the other side to balance it? 5 bears, you are correct. What happens if I put 7 bears in total in the bag? How many bears do I need on the other side? You got it, 7 bears. And if I put, and I'm not gonna write this out, I'm gonna put 1 million bears in the bag. If I put 1 million bears in the bag, how many bears do I need on the other side to balance this out? Absolutely, I need 1 million bears. So you take a look at the left side, take a look at the quantity of bears. How many bears are in the bag? You're right. In order for the scale to be balanced, if I have 6 bears on the left side, then there must be 6 bears in the bag. Okay, so now I've got this balance scale on paper, right? And remember that this only stays in balance if the quantity of bears on each side is the same, okay? So I am going to put in a paper bag a number of bears. Give me a second. All right, so I've got here my paper bag with a certain amount of bears. I'm going to put it over here on the balance scale, okay? All right. And then I'm going to put the quantity of bears needed to balance this paper bag on this side of the scale. All right, so take a look. Here's the quantity of bears. One is kind of low, that's okay. Quantity of bears on this side. And remember that for the scale to balance, the quantity of bears on each side has to be the same. So if I've got this many bears on this side, how many bears are in the bag? 8 bears? You got it. Okay. Now we are going to take a look at this question, and it's the first question that is on your recording sheet. Hopefully you were able to print out. If you weren't able to print it out, no worries. You can follow along in your math journal, but please do follow along, okay? Okay, so looking at this first question, we can see that 4 bears is the same amount of bears as 1 bag of bears. Okay, so we're gonna, on your handout, you're gonna do the same thing on your handout. We're gonna draw The bag of bears. I'm trying to draw this through looking at the camera, so it's a little bit weird. But anyway, here's a bag of bears. 4 bears is the same amount as 1 bag of bears. So 4 bears, the same amount as 1 bag of bears. Don't have to get fancy. We don't have to actually draw bears. So how many bears are in the bag? Write this down on your sheet. Correct. There are 4 bears in the bag. Now you are going to go on to the challenge on your handout sheet, the second part of your handout sheet, to the left of the question that we just did. So, and again, if you couldn't print this out, follow along in your math journal, all right? So it says, create a problem using the same setup as the question on the left. So the question that we just did, you're going to create a problem that uses the same setup, all right? Include the answer and a drawing. So you're going to create your problem, and then you're going to solve it yourself.